Greetings and salutations. This is Captain J. Back again today with another little lore episode from another derelict ship called Asps Bite. So let's go ahead and dock and see what we got. We got alarms. We got some environmental damage I can hear. We got our first victim already. And a slate. Now, I'll probably not have time to read all these on the ship. I'll probably have to go back to my ship and read them because of the environmental effects. But we'll go ahead and read this one. So this slate is from Justice Ovist and reads, "There's an old Swedish proverb which says luck never gives, it only lends. So when I drew straws with Gutierrez over who was going to go fix the exterior, I wouldn't say I was given a break. I was just lent a little more time. Besides, Gutierrez was the better choice. He's always been the brave one. He tried to fight the fleet when they've boarded and lost a tooth in the scuffle. Me, I hid in the corner. I got a mouthful of teeth, and all they do is chatter. When the vote came over, whether to consume the body, well, I cast my vote in favor. We needed the energy, and here was our lucky break. But while I felt good at first, I couldn't keep any of the meat down." Yeah, me neither. "Gutierrez told me I was lucky, and at the time I agreed, but I was only borrowing it, you see. It was never mine to keep." So for any other slates we find, I'm going to have to take those and read them later so I don't die here. But let's keep exploring. We've got another body here. They do have a slate. We'll put that in inventory and come back to it later. Let's keep on trucking. All right, here is another body. We'll grab that slate, check this, do some quick, see if there's any loot laying around. No, everything looks like everything's empty. We got a nice blood stain there. Here we have a body with a key, medpack, and a terminal. So I'm going to click through these real quick, but for the purposes of this video, I will pause at each one and go ahead and read them. So first entry is entitled, "Crimson Fleet. The pirates hailed our ship asking for aid. Back when I was with the Sanctum Universum, I never turned down a request for help, but in space we must take precautions. So I asked if I could do a scan of their engines to confirm they were no longer functional. As soon as I made the request, they let their true intentions be known. The missiles came screaming toward us, shattering our shields. Our engines soon followed, and it wasn't long after the cowards boarded our ship. The pirates lined us up against the wall before stripping our cargo and supplies. I asked them for mercy, begged them to leave us something lest we starve in the dead of space, but the Crimson Fleet are without honor or conscience." All right, the next entry is entitled Aftermath. "The fleet may have spared our lives, but they left us for dead. First, the damage to the ship. During the raid, we took a missile to the starboard side and suffered extensive damages to the exterior hull and engines. To make matters worse, the force of the impact burst several pipes, and now we have hazardous gas spewing into multiple modules. This wouldn't be an issue if the main shutoff valve wasn't also damaged by the exterior explosion. We'll need to do a spacewalk to assess the damage, but we've only got so much oxygen left. Second, the supplies. They emptied us out, taking our food and water along with our cargo. There's nothing left for us to subsist on. And we need the energy to finish the repairs. This is a race against the clock, and my concern is we lack the constitution to run." All right, next entry, pipe leaks. "We all agreed that to repair the exterior, we'll first need to stop the leaks to get access to the port. To handle this, I directed a strike team to focus on finding and patching leaks in the pipework. For the smaller leaks, we were able to wrap the pipes in tape and epoxy and let it cure. For some of the larger leaks, we used a gasket and clamp approach, but I don't have an estimate on how long it'll hold. These measures are designed to be short-term fixes, but it should buy us enough time to do the exterior hull work. It will be dangerous for whoever goes out there because of the orbiting debris. The crew is talking about drawing straws, which I agreed was the fairest way. I pray this is the right choice. All right, and the next entry. May God rest his soul. We lost Gutierrez during the exterior repair. May his soul rest in peace. We had almost shut off the main valve before he was hit with some floating debris. The piece ripped through his suit. He lost consciousness and died shortly thereafter. We managed to recover the body, but now some of the others are talking about doing the unthinkable. Fatigue and hunger are settling in, and hard choices need to be made. But my faith tells me this is not the way. Still, I cannot speak for my crew. Each individual crew member will have to make their own peace with their decision. Whether they choose to partake or abstain, I understand. It's a sacrifice for the crew as a whole. Yikes, sounds like they're going to eat Gutierrez. More deaths. The crew members who consumed Gutierrez's body have all fallen ill. Call it divine retribution or just rotten luck. But none of them were able to hold the meal down. Now we're down to half a crew trying to get this engine functional. On top of that, the leaks are getting worse, but it seems at this point we've decided to just put all our eggs into repairing the engines and deal with the gas after. Blessed Father, I am still haunted by the pirate attack. I keep replaying the moment when they hailed us. If only I ran the scan first and jumped to safety. If only I had been more skeptical, none of this would have come to pass. I know this is merely a test and part of his plan, but why do I feel like I have failed him? Sounds like there's some regrets going on here. But let's keep looking. Looks like I had about half health at this point. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Moving in here. Nope, not much loot. I guess they don't expect you to hang around with all this gas in the air, corrosive gas. Oh, here we're out the cockpit. Check around. Not seeing much. I do have a safe key, so I'll need to try to find where that is later, I guess. But my heartbeat is my cue. I'm going to run back to my ship here and heal up. And I just barely made it. So let me heal. So while we heal, let's read a slate or two that we picked up, but did not read yet. Let's check out Marika Altonen's slate. It reads, every day there's a new leak, or maybe it's just the hunger making us smell things that aren't there. Pasca. At this rate, we're going to die either way. Not sure what Pasca means. Hunger for me is a bigger concern than the gas right now. So when we lost Gutierrez, there was a pause in the room before Ovist said what we were all thinking. When he made the proposal, Kimes nearly took his head off, which we all understood would happen given it was her man's body. Captain Menyanga abstained, leaving it up to a vote. And so we cast it. I'm not a religious woman, but I feel like I'm literally taking a bite of the apple here. But Gutierrez would understand, even if his sweetheart didn't. He was out there because he wanted us to fix this ship, and now he's going to help us finish the job. Yeesh. That's one way to look at it. Anyway, we had one more slate that we picked up. This one is from Selma Kimes, and it reads, when he drew the short straw, I wanted to tell Gutierrez I loved him. I wanted him to know that these past 5 years have been the happiest of my entire life. But when I held his hand, tears welling down my face, he looked at me and laughed. What's wrong, Kimes, he said. It was a simple repair job. He'd be back in an hour. There was no need to act like this was goodbye. And so I didn't say it. I didn't want to jinx it. I said, you're right. Never mind. Those were the last words I said to him. Never mind. God, I don't care if I make it back anymore. All I want is that moment back, to tell him how I really feel. Well, an all-around tragedy occurred here, and that's really all you can say. So I'm going to go ahead and board the ship one more time to do a quick run through and see if I missed anything. I will admit, after making this video, I did realize that I picked up a safe key and I don't think that I used it. But, you know, oh well. I'm sure there's a safe somewhere in there where you can get some loot. Either way, this will conclude episode 3 of Little Lore. I hope you guys found it entertaining or useful, and we'll see you next time.